Hello, hello. I hope to God this is actually recording the audio, because I just had one of the worst streaming sessions of my entire life. And that's including when I wasn't even streaming and just playing with friends. Like, nothing was working. So, I scrapped the entire stream, because you literally could not hear anything from me. So I just figured, you know what, let's just chill out and play some Old Market Simulator. You know, this video is definitely going to be shorter. This is going to be a YouTube exclusive, because I am not streaming on Twitch anytime soon. So yeah, let's play a nice and chill game. You know what, this will be an experiment for me to see how well I can actually just do a non-stream game. I mean, I guess technically the last time no, this is just my normal Thursday streams. I just don't have a viewer. Yeah, that works. It's been a day. Last Thursday. Was it Thursday? I don't know. Last week I cut up my hand, so that screwed me over at work. I don't know. I've just been off. I think everyone feels that, especially nowadays. But you know what? Let's not talk about that depressing stuff, because you know what? The East Wind Market. Fantastic little hole in the wall. We got... Honestly, I don't know any of these guys' names. I should learn that. Got Jack, Kevin, and Marge. Okay. Guess I could grab some of the fish. Is the music volume? Oh, it was already up full. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I just gotta wonder, like, how do actual, like, content creators stand themselves doing this? They probably enjoy the job. To them, it's a job. I don't know, this is... I feel like I'm just losing my mind slowly talking to myself. Like, not just from this stream. I don't know. I don't think it's exactly the best place to just talk about, like, first 5 minutes of an Old Market Simulator. I'm just having, like, PTSD flashbacks from the last Nightmare stream. God, God, that was just the worst. Having to start and stop the stream, trying to change the bitrate, trying to change the delay, I don't know how content creators can do this, because I'm not just going to be walking here and be like, oh, what's up, guys? It's Old Market Simulator, and it's Logan the Voidling. Just trying to do a YouTuber voice. I would just pull my teeth out. Well, there's anything wrong with being a YouTuber. Like, God only knows I would be insane by now if I didn't have YouTube to listen to while I was at work. Because I work maintenance. However, I am the only maintenance about 90% of the day at work. So that means I am by myself all the time because everyone around is working. So I just sit there by myself. Occasionally I'll talk to a couple people at work, but you know, everyone's got stuff they gotta do. It gives me plenty of time to work on my D&D campaign. Who knows, maybe I can maybe I'll do like a just chatting stream sometime in the future. Just where I work on homebrewing my monsters. Because, like, I don't know. A lot of people bash 5th edition D&D, and I certainly bash it a lot, too. But it does have its charms. You know, it makes things simpler. So that if you're playing with a group of people who don't like to do math or don't know the rules back to back to back, you can quickly come up with a rule, or the rules are just really quick to know. Like Pathfinder. Pathfinder, oh my god. So many different modifiers you have to add to everything. And then you have to check, like, is this an enhancement bonus or a racial bonus? Is this a enchantment bonus? Or a class feature that gives you this? And does the class feature also count as an enhancement bonus? Because then you can't add them up. But I will admit, with Pathfinder, you can customize your character however you like. Although you get an atrocious amount of skill points. Especially if you're like trying to play a martial character. God forbid we have a fighter who can keep watch, talk to people, and be a survivor, like be a woodland survivor. You know? Pathfinder. Fighters get 2 skill points per level plus their int modifier. So unless you're playing a smart fighter, you're basically out of luck. But then people will just go like, "Oh, but you're playing a fighter, so why would you wanna be a talker?" You know? You might have a 14 in charisma because you rolled that really well. But why would the fighter ever want to be the face of the group? Well, maybe because we have a barbarian who wants to play barbarian and a cleric who doesn't want to invest skill points into to persuasion, or is it diplomacy in Pathfinder? And then you're almost incentivized in certain classes to not play them like they're meant. Well, that's not the best way to describe it. If you play a rogue, you have a lot of skill points because they don't want you to play a smart rogue. If you play a smart rogue, then you're just a skill monkey character, and you most likely didn't put your highest stat into dexterity. Unless you rolled really well. In which case, bam, you got Mary Sue right there. Go off. It's kind of why I like D&D 5th edition. Just for the roleplay aspect. Like, everyone can make an overpowered build. And if anyone makes an overpowered build at your table, like, it's just why. Like, I don't think anyone at my D&D table has an overpowered build. Just the most overpowered thing a character has is, what is it? Great Weapon Master, and that's only because we've been playing where everything gets doubled on a crit, which apparently, according to rules as written, it's only the dice that are doubled, not any modifiers, not strength, not Great Weapon Master, nothing like that. But, you know, we've been playing with everything being doubled, and my players seem fine with it, so, you know, we're doing what we're doing. The Barbarian only really rolls natural 20s when he's fighting a boss, which is really annoying. But, you know, can't really do much about that. You know, it makes him feel powerful. Plus, we have a rule, pretty standard, I certainly hope it's standard, D&D rule of any rules that you guys are able to utilize, the enemies can utilize it too. Which is why when the Barbarian talked about wanting to dismember a certain NPC that they were fighting against, he specifically said, like, oh, I don't want to actually do damage. I want to cut off this guy's leg. And it's just like, I don't have a dismember mechanic. I can add one, but if I do, you guys are gonna have to deal with that as well. And as soon as I gave them that old threat, the tune immediately changed. Because you know, it's only fun when the players do it. And I don't abuse any of the rules of the game. Like, I homebrewed a called shots into my game. Just so, you know, players could do fancy stuff with their weapons instead of, I swing my sword, and my turn. You know, that just gets boring and repetitive. Definitely need to get more beer. So yeah, I don't know. Called shots just add a little flourish to the game. I don't know. Eventually, it feels like I've been modifying 5th edition, so to the point where it's not really 5th edition anymore. Which I hear like a lot of people do. And then as soon as you start talking about it, people go, well, why don't you just go shopping around for other tabletop RPGs and try and find one that's fits your vision of a game. And I just have to, And I just had to look at it and be like, I spent so much money on these books. I know they're free online. However, I like having physical things in my hands. So, after spending so much money on my books, I want to use them. I made the mistake of buying Pathfinder 2nd Edition when it first came out. I did, 3-4 sessions of a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game before that campaign fell apart. And I'll take the blame. I was not an experienced DM, so I just didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I spent so much money on those books. They are sitting on a bookshelf behind me. And all they're doing is just taking up space. Because after I met my current D&D group, we tried 5th edition, we liked it. We occasionally swapped to Pathfinder first edition or D&D 3.5. Because one of the people in the group has like every single 3.5 edition book in existence. It's freaking insane. And everything for Pathfinder's online. You can find anything. Then we have the 4th person in our group likes Call of Cthulhu. I like the game just because, I don't know, I'm a sucker for roleplay. Allows me to try out my different voices, like my southern voice. Yeah, now I just feel silly. Because, like, if I try to do different voices, I have to... I don't know, it just feels silly talking to a monitor. But... yeah. I don't know. I guess I like DMing because I get to roleplay just tons of different characters. Plus, it gives me a chance to actually build NPCs that would be player characters I would get to play in different games that I don't get to actually play in. Well, I do get to play in some, but like we have not had a character death in so long. I'm trying. My players are too good at living. But, you know, I'm not going to be a vindictive DM and just be like, rocks fall, okay, you're dead. What, you wanted to keep playing that character? Too bad. We need to spice things up. That's probably like the worst trait in like any DM. I could sit here and tell my own D&D horror stories. I think that'd be fun. Like, okay. The first campaign I ever tried to DM, it started off from a one-shot, and my players enjoyed the one-shot, but I think they mostly just enjoyed rolling math rocks and killing zombies. So then we tried to run a game, and eventually they kept changing player characters because they wanted to try something different, to the point where I could not figure out how to like make the campaign's plotline be relatable to the NP or to the player characters. That should have been like the first red flag to tell me like, oh yeah, no, you should probably just end the campaign and just start a new one. But, you know, I wasn't thinking that. Eventually, one of the players turned out to be like an ultra furry. I have no problem with furries. You know, do what you want. I don't care. However, if you make it weird in-game about your Kitsune bard who wants to fuck everything in sight. Just stop. Just stop. Like, I almost physically vomited when he fought a scorpion one time. And he wanted his character to flirt with the scorpion. And I'll say it like this. Use that stinger for something other than stabbing. Yeah. It's bad. And that wasn't even the last session of that campaign. No, we had a deluge of fun characters. Like a lawful evil monk who was actually chaotic evil and just murdered people. Goblins who were just there to cause chaos. A gunslinger who was pretty much just murder hobo. A wizard who wanted to be a reincarnated previous like archmage who caused the destruction of a region. That guy was fun to play with. Sure. And then the Kitsune bard and a lizard folk barbarian who wanted a permanent enlarged size and constant healing. Like, he specifically took like a level dip in ranger so he could have an animal companion that gave him like, what was it, fast healing 1? I don't know, it was like constant healing. But then he decided to get, but then as part of his build, he got rid of the animal companion so that only he receives the bonus. And it was the most broken thing ever because all the fights turned into, okay, everyone cast your buffs on the barbarian, let the barbarian do his thing, and then sit for 5 minutes while the barbarian healed. Only to find out that that particular ability was fixed in an errata. And that he would have only been able to do it for, like, once a day for, like, not even a minute. So he purposely kept that from me just so his build would be broken. And, you know what, some of it's on me, because, like, I kept trying to change the campaign to, like, keep the players invested. The wizard, he was a person who, like, I kept trying to get him to be more engaged with the campaign, so I kept trying to, like, change how I was going to make the campaign to more cater to him. And by the end of the game, or by the end of the campaign, I just hated every single session we had. And, you know, eventually there was a straw that broke the camel's back, and, you know, I haven't talked to those guys in years. You know, fun times. Then we get into the Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. That one, I went to grand scale. I built a country, and I built many different cities, and then I went to work on building each city's lore, and how each of them worked, and how they relate to the other cities. And the starting town I put the players in was called Stormborn Keep. It was a place that had, it was constantly storming there, so it was, you know, mud on the streets, everyone was miserable, And there was only like 1 week a year that the storms broke, and the city folk had a festival for that. The reason why like the place was always storming was because there was a blue dragon that was trapped in an indestructible gem. So just him being there caused a storm to always appear. And, you know, part of the campaign was the players would go through, discover secrets of the world, and learn of a person who wanted to manipulate these indestructible crystals. And part of his plan was to release the blue dragon. And, like, that was going to be Act 1 or 2 of the campaign. But what ended up happening was I made the mistake of DMing with too many people. I'm talking, I think, 8 people at max. And I just couldn't keep up with the players. I couldn't make balanced encounters for a low-level party of 8. But, you know, people think, oh, just throw goblins at them. They keep killing goblins? Oh, like, look, more goblins show up. But I wanted to make it interesting. And then people stopped showing up to the sessions. I thought, okay, maybe I'll be able to handle this lower number of people. And then no one showed interest in the campaign. So that campaign failed. And then I tried Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strahd's a notorious, just bad campaign to try and run. Unless, like, you're with people who are experienced. And I tried to, like, make it a sort of narrative-based, campaign. That was my mistake. And, you know, that campaign didn't fall apart because, like, we had bad players or we had problems at the table. That campaign just ended because, well, life. 2 people at the table, they were married and they were having a kid. So we just said, you know, let's put a pin in this game and maybe come back to it. And we never did. So then that put me off of DMing for a few years, because I just felt like a failure. During that time, I was playing with another group, and, you know, we enjoyed our time together. Eventually, I wanted to, like, try running a new campaign with these people. They thought it was fun. The whole concept was, like, they're just mailmen going to a different kingdom, but they have to pass through a heavily cursed undead kingdom, where every day the zombies would rise again. And my players enjoyed it. And it's what we are still playing today. Because I basically say, you know what? I like these 4 people. We play games together. We have a good repertoire. And, you know, sure, some things have happened. One of the players had to move away because they found a significant other across seas. We wished them well, and they went on their way. Eventually, that person had a falling out with one of the other people in the group, and so, unfortunately, they haven't, we tried playing online, like, have them in a Zoom call. They could keep playing, but it was just not feasible with the interpersonal issues. So, you know, that person left the campaign. We had another person join in, but they had to leave because of work. So it's just 4 of us now. And we make it work. We each take turns DMing. And I'm currently the prominent DM, mostly due to the other people in the group just being busy all the time. But, you know, I'm able to take my time and build this world. Every so often I'll tell them, like, hey, I need a break. They understand, and we play Pathfinder for a few weeks. Or we play 3.5 for a few weeks. It works out. So, yeah. I think that's, we need eggs. Well, back to actually playing the game. So we need eggs, we might need bread. Peach juice. Got potatoes, we're good. Well, okay. I'll pretty much need to order everything. One of these. Get 2 of those. 2 of those. 3 of those. Okay, I think that's good to work for now. Can I afford another license? I'm not falling for jams. My other game, I bought jams early on. One of the worst decisions I could have made. No, I think I'm not going to push it. What we can do, buy a chandelier. And this way, you can have more actual light in this dreary shop. Not much, but, you know, it'll do. Don't think I need to order anything else. But I should check how much I have to spend on maintenance. So while this game is cozy, you do have to worry about, like, how much you're saving, how much you're spending. Spent maybe 1,000 on maintenance fees. one of everything? Right now I need to get everything into the basement so my cellar worker can actually get things done. Sure, I could stock the shelves myself. But any good manager worth their salt knows that why would you stock the shelves yourself when you got perfectly capable people to do it for you? The middle management motto. Upper management tells me to do a thing, I tell lower management to take care of it. But sure, I've had my fair share of time in retail. I think everyone has at this point. If you haven't had a retail job, get one, just so you know what people are like. So you don't, and I say this in the nicest way possible, act like a prick. Man, there are some people, like, you have to wonder, have you ever spent a hard day doing hard labor? Like, come on. Of course, we just call them Karens and move on. We don't have Shank. What is Shank? I may need to get a second worker. Alright. Let's hire Rick. Yeah. And we'll also hire Max. They start work tomorrow. Of course they do. Yeah, a lot of people really like their whiskey. I might have made a mistake. You got this, right? Oh, we got more beer. Hell yeah. We have soda in the... Okay. We definitely need more fish. And I guess that's my job. I'm the fish man. Well, you know what? There's a regular fish. You can cut it yourself. Plainly, you can't get fish cuts. We're only on day 10 of this whole playthrough. Calm your horses. Well, if you can't find carp, buy a boat, go to the carp region, and fish it yourself. You know, I'm not even going to talk to that guy. We're going to need tomato cans. I don't want to order more tomato cans. They're expensive. Got $2,000 for a tomato can. I imagine this is what it's going to cost. Or what we're going to need. I should probably stock a bit more carrots and potatoes just in case. Walnuts are crazy. Everyone loves walnuts. Let's see if they all got their fish. I can afford it. I can afford it. Yeah, I can afford it. I mean, it's just a fishing pole that lasts longer. Not to mention... Yeah, what was that? Not to mention... Don't you know I have a terrible Irish accent? Extremely offensive, not even borderline. God, I don't do accents well. Like, the best accent I can do is my southern accent. And even then, it sounds like I'm just chewing on a piece of wood. And that's if I try real hard to make it extremely southern. I prefer to do voices over impressions, I think is the best way to describe it. Because, like, with impressions, you're actively trying to sound like a certain type. Like the whole Irish accent thing. Or people who try and, pull off, Keanu Reeves. Let's say. I know I can't pull off a Keanu Reeves. But, like, if I were to try to do voices. You know, we've got very serious man. Which sounds like a southern voice. But not with the drawl. But no, mostly it's just me lowering my voice and trying to talk a bit softer. And even then, the southern slips in. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do, like, voice acting. But I would have to, like, tell the person who I'd be voice acting for, like, I am very amateur. the most I do is, like, doing funny voices for D&D campaigns. Like my little wizard, his name is Beely. Not Billy, Beely. And all that is just trying to sound like a younger, not even like a younger person. God, now I'm just sounding old. I'm not even, well, let's see, I'm 27. Some people say that's basically ancient. Those people are stupid. You know, on the internet, if you're not 18, you're old. That's the rule of the internet. I don't make the rules. But, you know, that's just how things are. Let's see. I could try talking more about, like, D&D horror stories, but I'm gonna make doing a YouTube only VODs. I don't know what the... If I plan on only doing, like, YouTube only videos of Old Market Sim, I should probably save some of my bits for that. Hey, you know, like, if this is actually interesting to anyone, please comment down below. Like and subscribe! God, that hurt to say. But I think that'll be it for fishing right now. I don't want to spend another 40 minutes just fishing constantly. Also, it's just late. I mean, the only reason why I'm doing this video is because I screwed up the stream before. Like, I didn't know how bad I screwed it up until I tried to upload it to YouTube. And I saw, oh, there's absolutely no audio. Because apparently OBS decided, yeah, let's not actually change the sound to the game and the microphone to the actual proper microphone. And you know what? I could have taken a second to listen to the video just to see if I was actually playing audio, and I didn't. So, you know, it's my fault. I'll take the hit. I do think it would be fun to do, like, the blueprints for YouTube only. Mostly because, like, for YouTube, I can just remove the long swaths of silence where I'm trying to figure out a puzzle. But in order to do that, I would need to, like, actually download video editing software and get everything all set and ready to game. But I think that's more accessible than my streaming. Because if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching an actual video that plays start to finish, no issues, no random slideshows. You're streaming. Oh god, it's a nightmare. It's a hellscape. But you know what? I mostly stream when I'm hanging out with friends. Mostly it's an excuse to hang out with friends. But you know what? If anyone makes it to the end of the video, you know, let me know what you think. If this type of YouTube-only content would be interesting. You know, blueprints. Actually, what's I recently got a game. Cyclopean. That game is... it's interesting to say the least. It's an old school RPG based off of the Cthulhu mythos. I think that would be fun to play for stream. I'll definitely play it in my off time, but you know, it would be fun. Could also do the Long Dark. I spent way too much on it because it went on sale like immediately after I got it. God, I was so mad. So yeah, I hope you had a fun time. Probably asking a bit much. I hope you enjoyed having this on in the background while you did other stuff. So, you know, have a good rest of your day or night, whichever it is. And I'll see you next time.